way to real wealth is being real with self. But I haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf. Cause the way to real wealth is being real with self. But I haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help.
Money, money, money. All you got is not wrong with being wealthy. Like Kanye West says, having money is not everything, not having it is. Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives us the ability to create wealth. It's the love of money that's the quality. You don't like money so much, why you get up and go to work? Yes, I do. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. That's not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. Now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial mentor to the working class, Ray Cortez.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live. I am your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the working class, where I do my very best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working class men and women all over this great nation of ours. I certainly count it an honor and a privilege to have you guys join me each and every morning as we bring these strategies to you. I do not take this opportunity to present this information to you lightly. So we're going to get right into today's show. Today, we're talking about understanding the many forms of wealth. A lot of times we don't understand that wealth equals more than money. So there are some things that you should be accumulating in your life along with accumulating money, some things that you should be developing about you, yourself, your character that will help you and aid you in your accumulation of financial wealth. There are more things that equal wealth than just money. So if you're tracking us on Facebook, do me a favor, share this on your timeline, because you're going to want the people that you know to start getting their financial IQ in order, because if they don't, you will ultimately have to part from those people, right? If they're not on the same mission, if they don't believe in building wealth, if they're not striving for greatness, then you will ultimately have to leave them. So share this on your wall. Let's get some of your friends involved in the conversation as we talk about understanding the many forms of wealth. And just like I do every morning, I want to let you know exactly who this show is for. This show is for my risers and grinders. If you're going to get up, get out, and get something today, this show is for you. If you went to bed last night thinking about your children's children, your legacy, and what you're going to put in place and leave behind for them, this show is for you. If you understand the power of generational wealth, if you're going to make some hard choices and sacrifices to be the one in your family to get the ball rolling, this show is for you. If you know deep down inside that you have the desire to be wealthy, you have the discipline to be wealthy, but maybe you're just lacking a game plan. Maybe you just need some tips, some strategies. Maybe you need a mentor. This show is for you. Now, just as we like to say who the show is for, let's also say who the show is not for. If you are the type of person who thinks capitalism is bad, money is evil, and you're waiting on a handout, this show ain't for you. If you're trying to figure out if Hillary's going to fix the economy or if Donald Trump is going to fix the economy, this show is not for you, because people who watch this show understand that they need to be focusing on their own economy, right? Now, understand this. I do not have a problem with you not wanting to be wealthy. It's your prerogative. I only have a problem with you if you have a problem with me wanting to be wealthy. If you don't like the fact that I've just talked about money and wealth and said it multiple times in the last 30 seconds, this show isn't for you. If you don't like the fact that I let everybody know each and every morning, if you've never seen a future billionaire before, I want you to take a good look, because you're looking at one right now. If that rubs you the wrong way, this show is not for you. So you can tune out and we won't hold you blame for that. So today's show is brought to you by Lioness Wealth Therapy. She is bringing your main man, H. Cortez, financial health mentor, to the Fox and Hound restaurant in Memphis, Tennessee, where we'll be holding my signature wealth building workshop, Building a Family Empire from Scratch. So if you're in the Memphis, Tennessee area, then you want to go to Facebook and look up Lioness Wealth Therapy, and you'll see the information about this particular event. It is a free event, but you do have to RSVP. And you do that by going to www.myfamilyempire.com, and you come hang out with us live. Fox and Hound restaurant address is 5101 Sanderland Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee 38117. So again, Lioness Wealth Therapy, you find all the information. You got questions about that event, she's putting it together, and you can literally get all your questions answered there. So now let's get into today's show. We're talking about the many different forms of wealth, right? We understand that money is one form of wealth, but it's not the only form of wealth. In fact, we don't even consider it the first form of wealth, right? We like to think that knowledge is your first form of wealth. Why is knowledge above money? Because you can have money, lose it all. If you got the knowledge, you'll get it all back, right? But if you have money with no knowledge and you lost that money, you wouldn't be able to get it back, right? We see that time and time again with certain athletes, lottery winners, entertainers. They have massive success really, really fast, accumulate a lot of money, but don't accumulate the knowledge to go along with that. And as the good book says, a fool and his money shall soon part. So you don't want to be a fool while you're acquiring your money. You want to be acquiring knowledge at the same time. So knowledge is the first form of wealth. What's the second form of wealth? Money, right? Nope, it's not money. Money is down the list, but the second form of wealth is your work ethic. Guys, again, if you have the knowledge and no work ethic, you're not going to be able to accumulate any wealth. You've got to grind this thing out, be willing to put in the hours to get where you want to be. So work ethic, your work habits, that is a form of wealth. What are you doing to develop a strong, solid work ethic, right? That's a form of wealth. That's, come on, let's be clear. We know that wealthy people at the beginning of the building of their empire put in 12, 14, 16, 18-hour days. Work ethic, that is a form of wealth. What are you doing to develop that? Are you trying to accumulate a strong work ethic as you're trying to accumulate a massive or an abundance of financial resources? All right. Wealth, form of wealth number 3 is money, and not just money where you're trading your time for dollars. We're talking about multiple streams of income. You're not going to get wealthy, guys, in most cases with just one stream of income. It's going to take multiple streams of income. Have you seen my Midnight Money series last night? We talked about the cash asset cash model. Every time you get your hands on some cash, you should be using it to buy, build, or invest in some sort of asset that's going to bring you back more cash. And you can do that in multiple avenues. So you got cash coming from all of these streams. And guess what? You apply the same philosophy with the cash that's coming from all of these different streams. So if you got a stream coming in from real estate, what do you do with that stream? You use a portion of it to buy, build, or invest in another asset to bring you more streams. If you got a stream coming from my business system, what do? You buy, build, or invest in that business system or another business system that's going to bring you back more cash. If you got income coming in from a job, there's nothing wrong with using your labor to build wealth, to create income. But you take that income, you buy, build, and invest in some sort of asset that's going to bring you more cash. We're talking about building wealth on autopilot, but it doesn't happen unless you understand all of these different forms of wealth so that you're picking these up along your way as you're chasing and tracking down the monetary wealth. You should be accumulating all of these other forms of wealth at the same time. What is the fourth form of wealth? Contacts. We've all heard it said that your network equals your net worth. And guys, it's not all about who you know. It's about what you know about who you know. And it's also about who knows you and what do they know about you. You guys know that I am the financial health mentor, that I bring practical, proven wealth building strategies to working class men and women all over this great nation of ours. So when you're introducing yourself to people as you're building your network, make sure that they know what you do. Because when people get in a pinch, They're going to call on people who they know bring a certain set of skills to the table. Now you become valuable in that person's life. I'll give you an example. I had a good friend who I just recently met, and yes, I'm already calling her and him a good friend, Ray J in Dallas of Around Town with Dallas, and Ray J had some issues where their videographer lost a lot of his equipment due to a flood in his home. And they are about to shoot the last show for their series that airs on network TV. Called me last night, and just so happened, I know a videographer. And she told me the story. I said, hey, I know a couple. I will put you in touch with them. I don't know if anybody is going to be able to get up and move on this short notice, but knowing me, having me in their network has actually saved their show. Looks like my Facebook Live just literally jumped off. All right, sorry about that, Facebook. We're talking about understanding the many different forms of wealth. And I saw that the stream got cut off. So that's what we're talking about. So we're talking about your contacts. That is a form of wealth. Are you accumulating contacts as you move through this life? Are you making solid connections? Or do you know what the people do who you making those connections with? Are you getting to know them so you also know the people that they know? Connections, guys, your network is equal to your net worth. Who do you know and what do you know about them? But more importantly, who knows you and what do they know about you? Got to start building connections, guys. Form of wealth number 5 is creativity, right? What is your creativity like? Guys, we are all children of the Creator. So that makes us all mini creators. But we've got to start using that creativity and understanding that that is a form of wealth. Nobody on this planet sees the world exactly as you do. As a result, you can bring a unique perspective via creativity, via imagination to any circumstance, any problem, any situation. But when you don't understand creativity as a form of wealth, then you don't develop that creative mindset. So you have to understand that creativity is a form of wealth, right? So that got us through our first 5. I got 5 more for you guys, but let me recap really quick because I know Facebook crashed on me, so I had to go back and do the stream, and it's not even titled at this point. But knowledge, form of wealth number 1. Your work ethic is your second form of wealth. Money is the third form of wealth. Contacts, your network, is the fourth form of wealth. Creativity is the 5th form of wealth. All right. So on to form of wealth number 6 is your belief, right? I don't know about you guys, but the book that I read says all things are possible for him who believes. Believe in what? Believe in your Creator. Believe in yourself. Belief is a form of wealth. And if you think about it really carefully, you'll understand that the reason people struggle, the reason people are falling behind financially, the reason people are stuck in dead-end jobs is because they have a limited belief in themselves and their ability and what they can and cannot do. So belief is a form of wealth. Are you accumulating a massive belief in yourself and your abilities and your talents and your gifts? Right? Because when you start to believe as someone who can accomplish and achieve anything, then doors begin to open simply based on that belief. And then you'll walk through those doors with a certain amount of confidence, right? That leads us to our next form of wealth, which is confidence and charisma, right? You've got to believe in yourself. And then when you do believe in yourself, every move you make, you strike out boldly. You strike out with a unyielding spirit of you will not be denied. And guess what? People see that in you. And when people see confident people, those are people they want to be around. Those are people they like to connect with. Those are the people they resonate with. because they know that you're bringing something special to the table. How do you feel when you get around people who are not so confident in what it is that they do? People who crawl into a shell. If you're a malicious person, the first thing you're probably thinking is how you can take advantage of that person. Right? But if you're a person like me, I'm not malicious, but when I see people crawling into their shells, I give them a shot. I try to lift them up. I try to encourage them. I try to get them to build that belief in themselves. But guess what? That's a job. So if I can't get you to raise your own belief to where you have some confidence in you, guess what? I don't want to be around you. Because it takes a job to continuously get someone to believe differently about themselves. That's an inside job. And if you're not willing to do that, then I don't want to be around you. So you have to believe in yourself. You have to have confidence in everything that you're doing. And yes, that is a form of wealth. Are you accumulating any confidence? Are you building any charisma? What is charisma? Charisma is your ability to move someone to action without touching them. And if you're an entrepreneur, you have to get good at that, because that's what sales really is, right? I can't put a gun to your head and make you partner with me, but through my confidence and my charisma, I can move you to action without touching you. And you have to start accumulating that skill. You have to accumulate that mindset, confidence, and charisma. That is a huge form of wealth that so many people are missing today. All right. And then let's talk about form number 8, luck. Right. Well, how is luck a form of wealth? Luck is just happenstance, right? No. What do they say luck really is? It's when opportunity and preparation meet. It's when opportunity and preparation meet. I have a cool story about what they call luck, right? I live in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm raised here. So not a huge football fan, but we're talking about preparation meeting opportunity. How many of you guys heard of a guy by the name of Kurt Warner? Now, Kurt Warner was literally bagging groceries right before NFL season kicked in, before he first joined the Rams. I think that was in 99 or 2000. I can't remember, whatever year he took them to the Super Bowl. But he was bagging groceries, guys. Was all but forgotten as it relates to an NFL career. But while he was bagging groceries, he was still working out. He was still throwing the football. He was staying sharp, staying prepared. He had no idea. They brought him in to not even really be the backup. Right? He was a backup to the backup. Trent Green goes down, throw him out there, and the rest is history. Why? Because he was lucky. No, he wasn't lucky. He was prepared when the opportunity hit. Right? What are you doing to prepare for that ultimate opportunity that's going to show up in your life? Will you be prepared? And when you're not prepared, here's what you say. Oh, that wasn't for me. Just wasn't meant to be. And you don't realize that you're missing opportunities for greatness because you're not willing to prepare. So you have to do the work. Luck is equivalent to activity. The actions that you're doing to prepare yourself for where you want to be in your future will eventually run you into some opportunities. And when that preparation meets that opportunity, that's when they call luck. That's when they say magic happens. So luck is a form of wealth, or in other words, your willingness to stay prepared, to keep honing your craft, to keep building your mindset, to keep building your belief. All of those action steps is a form of wealth. And when the opportunity comes, you'll be prepared for it. And the rest, like with Kurt Warner and the Rams, when he took us to that Super Bowl, will be history. All right. Wealth form number 9, energy, guys. Enthusiasm. How is that a form of wealth? How is it not? How many wealthy people do you know walk around with their shoulders slumped, this look on their face, and mad at the world? None. Wealthy people are always high energy people. Successful people always move at a different speed than the rest of the world. Energy. Einstein said there's two types of energy. There's high and low, fast and slow. Success loves speed. So you have to be upbeat, positive, constantly moving. Come on, you've seen wealthy people, you've seen successful people. They seem like they never have time for anything, right? They're always on the run. They're always on the go, because that high energy attracts other high energy people together. And when you get two high energy people together with success on the mind, wealth on the mind, they create what's called the mastermind effect. And both people benefit. So your energy level, your enthusiasm, are you accumulating the skill set of enthusiasm and moving through life with a certain energy, being upbeat, moving through life with a quick pace, right? Or are you dragging your feet to everything? That's a form of wealth. And if you start to apply these forms and start to accumulate these different forms, then the monetary form of wealth, I promise you guys, will show up. How do I know? Because it's happening to me right now. I'm living this right now, going through this right now based on these teachings, implementing this stuff in my life, changing the way I think, the way I do things, has literally put me in the position that I am right now. And doors are continuing to open for me. I'm kind of becoming more and more on demand as a speaker, as an entrepreneur, as a wealth coach, as a strategist, as a consultant, because I've started to look at all of these other forms of wealth and start to accumulate them into my life. And now I'm building upon them more and more and more. And the more I build on them, the more they provide for me, the more they open doors for me. So your energy, how you move through life, is a form of wealth, but you got to understand that. All right. And then form of wealth number 10 is your choices. You've got to understand that the decisions that you make have an effect on your life. And if you don't understand how to make choices, how to gain from the choices that you make, whether the outcome is positive or negative, you will continue to make the wrong choices and not get where you want to be in life. Got a real cool story about that. This comes from a friend, Jim Rohn, and I want to give credit to these 10 forms of wealth too, because this comes from Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. So if you haven't heard Dr. Kimbrough speak, then go look him up on YouTube. He's got some powerful lectures out there. So this comes from him, and this quick story comes from Jim Rohn, and he talks about the elder statesman getting ready to retire, and he's being questioned at his retirement gathering by some young bucks. And the young buck says, hey man, you are really, really successful. Give me some insight into what it is that you attribute your success to. The elder statesman said 2 words: right choices. Right? And he went on with this conversation, dealing with other people, and if you got a look on the young buck's face, you can see that troubled him, because he wanted a more elaborate answer. He wanted the elder statesman to go into great details. So he said, wait a minute, wait, sir, one more question. You said that you attribute your success to right choices. Well, how do you get to the point where you are making the right choices? Elder statesman said 1 word: grow. And then he goes on and continues to doing this thing, conversing with other people. And again, the look on the young buck's face said he was troubled. Again, he's waiting for this profound amount of wisdom to come pouring out of the elder statesman's mouth, and not no 1 and 2 word answers, right? So he said, wait a minute, one more question. All right, if you have to be successful, you have to make right choices. And in order to make right choices, you have to grow. How do you grow? And the elder statesman said 2 words: wrong choices. Right? So you have to understand that the choices that you make today, whether they create a negative effect or a positive effect, if you understand choices as a form of wealth, they will always benefit you, whether the results are negative or positive, because if they're negative, then you can probably learn a lot more than if they were positive. So you learn and you glean and you pull from those results, and you get better, you grow, and you grow into the person who is more consistently making right choices. So your choices are a form of wealth. So really quickly, we're getting close to the bottom of the hour. So let me go over the top 10 forms of wealth. Now, there are way more forms of wealth than this, but I got this from my man, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. If you haven't watched any of his lectures on YouTube, definitely do that. And I'm always on YouTube listening to lectures and things. Why? Because I know that wealth begins in the mind. If I want a different output, I have to start with a different input. So I no longer put ESPN in here. I no longer put Sunday night, Monday night football in here, right? How many of you guys know a ton of stats about your latest football team and all of that, but you don't know any stats or any formulas to building wealth? If you want a different output, you start with a different input. So I'm constantly on YouTube. Why? Because I can plug my cell phone into the radio while I'm in a car, and I got a 20-minute commute to work. That's a 20-minute education that I get every morning. It's a 30-minute education that I get on my lunch break. It's a 20-minute education that I get on my way home. I could be filling it with useless stats. I could be filling it with the same old news of despair that's going on in the community. I could be filling it with a lot of other stuff, but I'm filling it with powerful information that I'm going to be able to use to build my empire, to grow me to where I want to grow. So the top forms of wealth, knowledge is number one. Work ethic and your work habits. That is a form of wealth, guys. You are where you are today based on how hard you are willing to work. So if you increase your ability to work hard, whether it's through, yes, capitalize on your time, whether it's through, and when it comes to work habits, let's talk about this just briefly, efficiency versus effectiveness, right? I, as a father and a husband, have one God-given duty, and that's to provide for and to protect my family. Nobody says that I have to provide for my family by giving up 10 hours of my day on a job. If I am to be able to provide for and protect my family, then I want to figure out how I can provide for them in 1 to 2 hours a day. Why? Because that frees up more time for me to be present, to be able to really protect them. How much can I protect them when I'm away from the house 10, 12, 14 hours a day on a job? Now, I'm not bashing anybody with a job. I'm just saying that's an effective way to provide for your family, but is that the most efficient way? So we're talking about work habits as being a form of wealth. So you want to be able to, accumulate a great work habit. The third form of wealth is money, monetary. But when we're talking about money, we're talking about multiple streams of income. We talked about cash, asset, cash. Every time you get your hands on some cash, you buy, build, or invest in some sort of asset, and then you that's going to bring you more cash. And if that is your habit, you literally build wealth on autopilot. All right. You build wealth on autopilot when you have that working for you. Fourth form of wealth is your contacts. Your net worth is determined by your net worth. Who do you know? What do you know about who you know? And more importantly, who knows you and what do they know about you? Right? Because they can't call on you if they don't know what you do. So every time I introduce myself, I'm H. Cortez, financial health mentor to the working class. I bring practical, proven wealth building strategies to working class men and women. I teach people how to minimize taxes, eliminate debt, free up the cash that they need to invest. And I also provide investment education so they can build their long-term retirement future. What is your 18-second elevator pitch so that people knows you and know what you do, right? Form of wealth number 5 is your creativity. No two people see this world exactly alike. As a result, you put two people in a room, they both bring unique perspectives to any situation, and you create what's called a mastermind. Understand that. Creativity is a form of wealth. Form of wealth number 6, belief. Got to believe in yourself. Got to believe in your talents and your abilities. Got to believe in your most high creator, that everything that is happening in your life is happening for a reason, and that he is working all things out to the good, for those who know and love and acknowledge his presence over their lives. So belief is a form of wealth. What are you doing to build your belief day in and day out? Are you accumulating a massive amount of belief in your gifts and talents? That leads to form of wealth number 7, confidence, right? You believe in yourself and then you move a different way. The bigger that belief grows, the more you walk with your shoulders upright, your head held high, and people sense that. People want to be around other people who believe in themselves, people with confidence and charisma. Form number 8, luck. How is luck a form of wealth? Because we know that luck is actually when opportunity and preparation collide. So if you're doing constant activities that will prepare you for opportunities that you're seeking, when you find them, then you will acquire or you will be what's considered lucky. And guess what? The harder you work, the luckier you get. The harder you work, the luckier you get. I promise you, more and more opportunities will present themselves that you are prepared for the harder you work. Form of wealth number 9 is your energy, enthusiasm, right? Moving through life at a certain pace. You have to, without a shadow of a doubt, start moving a little bit quicker. Success loves speed. Do you see wealthy people with their shoulders slumped and sitting back and moving slow like they don't believe in themselves? Successful people are always on the go, always busy. Wealthy people got 10 things going on, so they don't have time to be moving slow. For wealthy people, 24 hours in a day is not enough to get everything accomplished that they want to get accomplished. So you have to start moving with a sense of urgency. And that is a form of wealth. When you master that skill, you accumulate the skills to start moving about your life with a sense of urgency. Doors will open for you, right? And then last but not least, form of wealth number 10, choices. Don't be afraid to pull the trigger. Yes, you give some thought, you give some calculation to the choice that you're about to make, but then you pull the trigger. A lot of people say you get ready, you aim, then you fire. I want to challenge you to switch that up a little bit. You get ready, you fire, then you aim, right? Make a move, do something. Then after you see the results of what you've done, you course correct, then you aim. Because I promise you, if you try to get ready, if you try to aim, some people will be aiming all their cotton picking lives and never pull the freaking trigger. Ready, fire, then aim. I'm ready. I'm going to make a move. If it's the wrong move, at least I did something. I'm going to figure out it's the wrong move. I'm going to course correct, and then I'm going to make another move. I'm then going to aim, and then I'm going to fire again, and then I'm going to get ready. I'm going to fire again. I'm going to course correct, aim, and then I'm going to fire again. If I miss my target, I'm going to course correct, and I'm going to fire again. You have to constantly keep taking action every day. Procrastination is one of the 5 P's that you have to get rid of. The other 4 P's you have to incorporate. This P you have to get rid of. Aiming is just procrastinating, guys. Pull the trigger, right? So your choices, whether the outcome is positive or negative, if you understand anything about choices, you know that you can learn more from a negative result than you can a positive result. Pull what you can learn from that negative result, and you put that into your calculation as you get ready to fire again, and then you fire repeatedly. You do that over and over and over, and I promise you, every time you do that, you're going to get closer and closer to your target. And before you know it, you're hitting that target dead center. Guys, I didn't realize we are beyond 7:30. It's your main man, H. Cortez, financial health mentor to the working class. Today's show is brought to you by Lioness Wealth Therapy. Thanks to Lioness Wealth Therapy, your main man, H. Cortez, will be in the Memphis, Tennessee area. If you're in that area and you want to come to a live wealth building workshop where I'll be teaching you how to build a family empire from scratch, then I want you to go to Lioness Wealth Therapy. You can get all the details of the event at that page. You can also go to www.myfamilyempire.com and register for this event. Seats are extremely limited, so you do have to RSVP. Remind me of the other P's, please. Okay, really quickly. There's 5 P's for prosperity. You have to get rid of procrastination from your vocabulary and from your life. The other 4 P's you have to be constantly working on and adding them into your life. Number 1, you have to give yourself permission to fail. Whatever you're doing to take yourself to another level, chances are you've never done that before. Otherwise, you already be on that level. So because you're doing something new, give yourself permission to fail. You're going to have to be patient. Guys, you didn't get yourself to where you are overnight. So you're not going to fix all of these problems or get yourself to elevate to a new level overnight. It's going to take patience. It's going to take some persistence. It's going to take consistent daily effort to get you where you want to be. So you're going to have to persist, and then you're going to have to persevere. One thing I can promise you is when you start to elevate yourself from glory to glory, you're going to run into some haters. You're going to run into some problems. You're going to run into some challenges. You're going to slip into a hole every now and then, and you're going to have to overcome. You're going to have what it takes in you to either get over, get around, get under, or get through anything that blocks or stands in your way to reach your level of prosperity and success. So in the max, I hope I'm saying that right. So those are the 5 P's of prosperity. You get rid of procrastination and you add the other 4 P's. So I'll be at the Fox and Hound in Memphis, Tennessee this Saturday, September the 3rd from 1 to 3 p.m. Address over there is 5101 Sanderland Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee, 38117. If you're in that part of the country, come out, hang out with your boy. And I promise you, you will not be able to leave that event without a game plan to build a family empire from scratch. Because one thing we know is that the government ain't going to help us do it. Banks ain't lending us the money to do it. So if you're going to build wealth, stop playing the freaking lottery and go to work. Because most millionaires, upwards of 80% of millionaires in today's America, are first generation millionaires. That means nobody handed them anything. They worked for it and acquired 7-8 figures in one single generation. So if you understand the strategies and the tips that I'm going to give you, then you too can build generational wealth and become wealthy in a single generation. So until I talk to you guys next time, which is tomorrow, same time, 7 a.m. Central Time. I don't even know what the topic of tomorrow's show is going to be, but I promise you it's going to be a good one. So until I talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. Peace.